points. The idea of the incentive program is you participate in Princeton Living Well, and there's many, many ways, which I'll describe in a second. You get points, basically, for all the participation you do. And as you collect these points...
So you can actually see you growing.
Yes.
Right.
So, these days, the whole idea of a point loyalty system, American Express and most of the credit cards now have it. You buy something, you get points for it, and then there's a catalog to redeem the points for products and services.
And you like seeing those points add. I love seeing the points add up. So I get into it.
And you get motivated. So what we did is the same kind of idea. We have a point system, and there's two ways to get points. You can do things on the web, or you can do things in the community. And as you collect these points, you can then redeem the points for local products and services. So I brought a very large list of businesses that I'd like to mention.
The local ones.
They're all local, and people who live in the community will know these very, very well. Blue Point Grill has been very, very active with us and giving us gift certificates, up to $100 gift certificates. Booster Juice down on Nassau Street, Calico Grill, and Cox's Market, which is one company that has two great retail stores. Can Do Fitness has been very active with us in Princeton Forestville Village. Cranberry Station Art Gallery. So it's not only it's not only health or diet or sports equipment kind of rewards. A non-related entity like Cranberry Station Art Gallery or Princeton Record Exchange can participate because it's letting them give back to the community, and in return we provide them with marketing opportunities. Right. And just going down the list, we have individuals like Dr. Kate Thompson, Eastern Mountain Sports over
Gold's Gym in Lawrenceville, a lot.
Gold's Gym, Feldman Chiropractic, Enoterra. The MoMA brothers have been very, very supportive of us. So all the restaurants, Enoterra, Mediterra, and Teresa's Cafe. Hamilton Jewelers is involved. Heather Parker, a massage therapist. Kaufman Chiropractic. M3 Personal Training. McCaffrey's Supermarket has been a very good relationship.
Family-run,
exactly local. Olive's Deli is also a participant. We also have some organizations, and actually just going through a little bit more, PTS over in Montgomery, Frog Fitness, Princeton Center for Yoga and Health. Deborah Metzger, who's the owner of Princeton Yoga.
Yeah, I've read about her.
She's one of our bloggers, and we have about 10 local bloggers. So a lot of the content that we provide is all about local.
So you can meet a lot of interesting people when you get involved in this too. It's fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And I've been pretty much a Princeton resident my whole adult life. So about minus 3 years. So
you came here for graduate school and you never left?
I left for 3 years, came back, and been here ever since. Just to finish off, Princeton Longevity Center is also one of our business partners. Simply Natural Living, Soto's downtown, Step Into Health, Cindy Albert Salons, Technician X, Ted Johnson, Health and Fitness Consultant, Tennis Solutions, the Running Company. We've had some great side projects with the Running Company on Nassau Street.
Got the Record Exchange.
Record Exchange, the Walking Company, Whole Earth, Yankee Doodle Tap Room, Original Soup Man, Sahara, the Subway downtown, which is a locally owned franchise. Tico's, which is on
33 Witherspoon Street. Tico's Eatery and Juice Bar.
Yes. Oh, great spot. A great little company.
I didn't even know about it.
They're a little deli, but they have a lot of fresh juices and a lot of choices for healthy things.
So it's a good summertime drop-by.
Exactly. Blue Ridge Mountain Sports. We got a lot of the curves in the area. Halters and Cops, bike stores, Namaste Body Works, we already said Princeton Running Company, Volution Wellness Solutions, Beg and Bark, Pet Sitting, Cosmo Blue Salon, Light Gallery, Place to Be, Princeton Mattress, and Technician X.
Wow.
So it's a huge list, and we get about 2 or 3 more businesses every month. It's been growing consistently for a year. The program itself has been available to the community since Communiversity of last year. And we now have over 1,400 registered
You were at
members.
Communiversity, too. You had a place.
Yes, we had a...
What exactly do you do? Let's say I want to lose weight. I want to get motivated. I want to get these great prize points.
Yep.
You can see that? No, we can't see that. I'm going to fire the cameraman. Anyway, what exactly do you do?
So if you go online and register, you get points.
On
www.princetonlivingwell.com. Then with these, and there's other things that you do online. If you read articles and post responses to articles.
Okay.
So you post to blogs, post to forums, you track your weight, track your physical activity. So there's other tools. We have a tool that we use in our clinical practice, and our researchers use a tool called Weiss. This is something that Mayo Clinic uses in their cardiovascular clinics to assess people's nutritional dietary habits. If you run through that, you get a number of points.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things online that you
You're
can
trying
points.
to lure people in.
Yes,
a
it's
sense.
just kind of motivating them, kind of lure them in, and surround them with healthy information. But that's only one aspect. I think the more important aspect is that we have a community calendar. There's a central repository of everything healthy in the community.
Oh, right.
So you go one spot. So there's 10 or 20 good local organizations that provide lots of great opportunities to go out and be physically active or sit down and have a learning experience. Whole Foods has a lunchtime program, and they have a great program that provides a lot of educational information. So they'll hand out, if you go there, they'll hand out one of these cards. And one of these cards has a little secret code, and you go onto our website and you enter the code in, and you get the points that are on the card. So this card happens to be a 500-point card. And so the idea is that with the community events, we list about 100 events a month.
So you get fellowship, too. You're not alone in your weight.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, so there's 100 events a month. About a third of them have points. So, and what's happened over the last year, and one of the aspects of what we're trying to do, we're not running programs ourselves. We're trying to make it easier for the local organizations and for individuals to really take ownership of the whole idea. So we've had somewhere between 10 and 15 local individuals who volunteered to lead walks, hikes, bike rides. We've had one new mother lead a stroller walk.
Wow.
And we list that up, and people come to it and have fellowship. And on top of it, the people who volunteer, we give extra points for.
Right, and they get ownership of this, too. It's
That's
their
right.
program.
That's right.
This is so win-win. You're a genius.
Thank you. But, well, and I should have mentioned, I'll mention now, is that this whole idea is meant to be Princeton as a pilot program that eventually we want to carry across the country.
So it's starting here.
It's starting here. We've had, from a grant standpoint, we just had our final review. We're just finishing the analysis. We had 50 people walking around town, running the system, and came into our offices on Witherspoon Street and gave us some feedback. And I would say in general the feedback was extremely positive. There were a couple things that I think the two main things that people really loved about the program: the incentive system, with the ability of working with the local businesses, and in combination with the incentive system, we have some people walk around with Omron pedometers. So
that measures your steps.
measure your steps. So a little over a year ago, Microsoft found out about us, came to visit our offices, and fell in love with the program and said, we'd like to get involved. And Microsoft has
They came to you.
They came to me. And they have something called Health Vault, which is their development of a personal health record, which is a whole other area of medical, of where the healthcare system is trying to go to.
Right.
But what they wanted us to do is connect our community program with Health Vault. They said that we do not have a community program. And as we talked, they decided that Health Vault has a lot of business partners, just as Princeton Living Well does. And one of them is Omron, and another company is called Polar Heart Watch. So they provided us with a whole bunch of devices for our subjects. So we had 50 people walking around with these pedometers, which have an internet access. So
Oh, neat.
On this device, there's a little, you can't see it, I'm sure, from the TV camera, but there's a little mini USB adapter,
so you can
right?
plug it in, right.
So you can plug it into your computer, and you can load your steps up to the internet. So now we can give points based on the number of steps. So you can imagine.
But again, instant gratification, it's done.
That's
you
right.
Make sure you send it and they get it.
And so one of the best programs out there is a 10,000 step per day program. So here you
I
can
wanna get involved.
do your 10,000 steps and then get rewarded with points and convert those points into actual products and services, right?
I love Blue Point Grill. I'm excited right now.
Now, so things like Blue Point Grill take a lot more points.
Right.
But if you want a smoothie from Booster Juice, it's 3,000 points. So
I'll do it.
that may be 30 or 50,000 steps. I don't remember exactly how we convert it, but it's that kind of thing. So the bigger the reward, the more effort you have to take.
I see the future now. It's private enterprise is seeing that there's a shift in the way people look at health. It has to be right now. And it's helping the community, but at the same time, that's where business is going to make profit, too, at the same time.
That's right. We need to make healthcare a profitable entity.
It's the only way things are
That's
going to
right.
change.
We can't depend on government handouts and government grants. I know this was funded from the government, but ultimately my whole proposal to NIH was that we could create a local sustainable
Right.
model, so we didn't have to go back to
They
the
plant the
government.
seed with the money.
Exactly.
Right,
This,
right, right.
the whole idea is to just test it out and see if it would work. And I would say from the experiences that we've had over the last year, we got it working.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have about 5 other communities now talking to us about developing a living well community in their community.
Right.
So I know we will be pushing this out to the other locations in the country very, very
Because
soon.
Microsoft would not come to you unless they thought this was something very viable.
Yes. Oh,
You come-
absolutely. They did a lot of due diligence before we
Right.
decided on this, and they've helped us. They've connected us up with some other communities, and they've been a great partner, actually. I've been very, very thrilled to be a Microsoft partner on this.
What is it? So, I guess I'm always interested in the reptilian motivation that people have in our DNA. You said DNA is we want quick gratification. That's in our DNA.
The way a human being is all modeled is that we have needs, and a lot of our needs in this area happen to be we need to eat.
Right.
And to eat, if it's easy to get, and that's, I think, one of the biggest issues with our dietary habits over the last 30 years, the cost of food has gotten so cheap
Right.
that instead of, when I was growing up, you'd have much smaller portions because the cost of the food was so
Right.
expensive.
It's so easy now. It's so cheap
That's
to make
right.
it. Supersize it.
Exactly, and because we've moved to high fructose corn syrup, it's not the high fructose corn syrup that causes the problem. It's because it's so inexpensive. It's very similar to sugar, but it's so less expensive, you can supersize everything and not add a lot of cost. And
And the
most
government subsidizes that too. These agribusinesses.
that's right. So we were talking before, again, Dr. David Katz, one of his analogies for what's going on is you wouldn't put a polar bear in the desert. They wouldn't do very well.
Right.
And so human beings we've as a society have re-engineered our society to push out exercise and to make high caloric foods very inexpensive and easy to get. And when you have that combination, you get obesity.
And that's a new phenomenon because just 2,000 years ago, you're right. We were just basically starving, looking for the next meal.
Yep.
And everything. That's why those binge diets don't work.
No, diets don't work. And what we need to do is make it easier for people to learn new habits, healthier habits, and keep them doing that for a long term.
And incorporate it in their lifestyle.
That's right.
Right.
So one of the things when I give talks about Princeton Living Well, I'll use the analogy of, or from the book, The Tipping Point.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes, exactly.
150, whatever.
Yeah. And the idea is that we can change a group of people by having this tipping point happen. And so in Princeton, what we want to create is the idea that as some communities around the country, if you think of Boulder, Colorado, Madison, Wisconsin,
All
Davis,
college
California,
towns.
they're all college towns. But if you have a conversation with someone who knows those towns, they say, people are always physically active, they're always healthy there, they're always out there doing things. When we talk about Princeton, people know us as a college town. They tend to think of us as a wealthy community and that place where Princeton is. But I don't typically hear, oh, that's a place where people are healthy. We don't,
Yeah, it's
we
not
don't
a
think
big-
about unhealthy either.
No.
But
It's
what
not
I
like Boulder when everyone's riding their bicycles and up the
exactly.
mountains, right?
But I think we can change the way the general community looks at health and say, we should expect people to be out there doing walks during lunchtime and doing those
Right.
kinds of things. And if you have more and more of your peers or the people who sit next to you in your office or at home doing these things, it becomes the standard mode of
Right.
thinking, right?
Right,
Just
they're
like
heard.
just like green, right? Instead of driving your car to work, if you bike to work, those are
Right.
good things.
Because
So-
it's branded in your brain, and they're doing it too, and no one's really stopping you. It's
Yeah.
not really a bizarre thing actually to walk during lunch or something.
Yeah, exactly. Peer pressure is wonderful when it comes to these things. So, so having that social networking environment helps people change their behaviors, and at the same time, one of the other underlying focuses of the system is to raise social capital about feeling good about where we live, about Princeton. And I think most people do feel good about here, but I think we can still raise
Right.
the bar even more.
And then you have pride, like people. You're from Cleveland originally. I guess
Yeah.
Some people have Philly pride and everything. Well, I don't know if you can answer this. Are we going to get national health care? Is it? Some people have told me that even the private corporations see it's going to go in that direction. What do you think?
I think eventually there will be programs that will push us towards there, but I don't know. I don't believe there will be national from the standpoint of the government running it. I mean, our country is such a
Fragmented, diverse state.
exactly, and wants the industries to really take care of it. What I really believe is going to happen, and our main focus at my company has been on corporate wellness, and most people get their health care through their employer.
Right.
Now, of course, there's a large population that doesn't even have health care, and those are the groups that we do need to expand and provide some coverage in some way, some kind of mechanism.
And also, we have a subcategory, a lot of minority who are completely intellectually, socially, they don't even have computers in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be like the have-nots. What reaches them?
Yeah, that's where I think that's where government really just have to play a role and provide a backdrop for them to be caught and help, because the costs to our society are significant.
Yes.
And if we don't take care of those individuals, it's that 80-20 rule, where 20% of the population really uses 80%
Right.
of the healthcare dollars.
Especially when they have chronic illnesses, diabetes, and everything
That's right.
else, right?
And so, but programs like this can provide a lot of mechanisms to prevent those things. So one of the issues that I have with the healthcare system is that it's based on an acute care. You get sick, and then you go see the doctor.
Right.
What we really need is a healthcare system that looks at prevention way early on, and stops diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
And insurance pays for it.
And insurance pays for it.
Right.
And there's programs in the community that sponsor it and help it.
Yeah.
But I think this is where employers still can have a more significant role in it. And again, within a program like Princeton Living Well within Princeton, we could have employers around the community that jump in, provide corporate wellness for their employees.
More productivity for them, too.
And but have them participate in a community program,
Right.
so it's shared across the whole community.
Gotcha.
And then we can start catching the people who are living in the community that don't have health care, and provide them with an opportunity.
And tell
for
them about
prevention.
services, where they can go. and all that
Exactly.
kind of
Make
stuff,
it easier for them
Right.
to find places and ways to protect
Because
themselves.
I'm not saying personal responsibility is still part of it, but I know people in Trenton, they're intimidated by the whole thing, making phone calls. They can't use a computer if
Yep.
they had to, and it's easier, yes, to do nothing.
Well, and so one of the things we've done here, and Princeton's a very diverse community, and we do have a range of socioeconomic individuals.
Yes.
So one of the ways we've done it is use people in the community. So, like in the John Witherspoon area, we have people who are out there who are part of that community.
Speaking Spanish. a little
And
bit.
yeah, exactly, and bringing people out of their houses and getting them on their walks and engaging them, and that's where you can really help. Again, even in Tipping Point, there was a lot of work on how do you connect with those people and how do you make them aware of what's available, because there's a lot of things available. It's just getting the word out
Right.
the right way, right?
Right.
And so, and I think the social networking aspect is huge.
Right. That's the only way it can really happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
That's
right.
what I believe is.
Yeah, you can put up ads and posters in the New York Times and everything.
It's
and be
not
well.
as sustainable.
No.
You got to have to make it that it's part of that community,
Right.
and your neighbor is going to drag you out and make sure you take care of yourself.
Right. And the peer pressure.
And the peer pressure.
Well, you want to give us some local businesses again? Again, shout out.
All right.
And-
So again, some really great local businesses have been helping us out. Princeton Mattress, Technician X, Light Gallery over in Princeton Shopping Center, Cosmo Blue Salon. We have Tico's, Cop Cycles, Halters, Fitness Solutions, Cindy Albert Salons, Soto Restaurant on Nassau Street, great Italian restaurant, Princeton Record Exchange, Princeton Center for Yoga and Health, Trey Piani, the Momo Brothers, great group of restaurants and company. By the way, VioCare, through Microsoft, also provides Polar Heart watches, a $200 Polar Heart watch. And for people who know about it, it's mainly, it's very useful for if you're a very physically active person. You put a strap on your chest, and there's a watch, and as you exercise, it will record how many heartbeats you're doing, and that can measure the caloric expenditure and how much effort you take to do that. So we have a number of Polar watches.
Cool.
The Walking Company, Whole Earth, a great local health food store, Yankee Doodle Tap Room, part of Nassau Inn. Olives, Adam and Olives is great. He's got a lot of great food there. We're very lucky in this community to have so many great local food establishments. Mediterra, McCaffrey's, M3 Personal Training, Koi Spallon over at Forestland Village as part of Can Do, Gold's Gym, Hamilton Jewelers, Kaufman Chiropractic, Frog Fitness Center, which is down over in Wall Street in Montgomery, Calico Grill and Cox's Market. The group there is some local folks who've been really
Cox
great.
has been there forever.
Cox's has been forever, and we worked with them years ago on changing the Princeton Charter School lunch program, so they and Pizza Star provide the food at Princeton Charter School and do a great job. Dr. Kate Thompson, Feldman Chiropractic. I think I pretty much, Booster Juice, Blue Point Grill. I think I pretty much caught everybody.
What about you? What about your health regime?
My health regime. I try to eat healthy as much as I can. I'm mostly a vegetarian, but I eat fish. And you know, it's about managing the whole spectrum. So I still have habits that, in general, an individual brownie isn't a health food.
But moderation.
Moderation,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So, but I tend to love fruits and vegetables and whole grains.
Oh,
And I
so-
tend to eat low fat, but I like desserts. I try to drink, you know, mostly water or low caloric beverages.
Right. You don't. Bottled water is a bunch of crap too. Excuse me, I'm getting. No, really, it's from a tap, right? And
Actually, I have a blog, and I just blogged about things like that. So from a bottled water standpoint, years ago, I replaced bottled water with filtered water.
Right.
And then I take water in a glass jar to my office.
It can be washed.
And it can be washed and clean. And then I use a bag when I go, every day I walk to town and buy lunch, and I bring a bag with me, so I don't bring a bag back.
These are simple things.
Simple thing. And, you know, if you look at it, the quantity of paper that we use just from the bags is enormous.
And I was in France last year, and I got very upset. The younger generation in France is getting fat. They're losing the bistros, and they love McDonald's. I mean, the advertising must have worked. These kids are going to it.
Yeah, we're exporting our obesity.
The worst part of Americana, it's sad.
Absolutely.
Well, I call you Dr. Weiss. You're a
No, it's
PhD?
actually, no, I'm not PhD.
Oh. And if anyone sees you on the street, they can come and talk to you?
Absolutely. As you can tell, I love talking about our program, and I love talking about health and wellness. So anytime, and if there's other organizations that want to get involved, check us out on PrincetonLivingWell.com.
I think I'm going to go on because I want to be on the point system.
That's great. And if you want to directly communicate with us, the company, again, is VioCare with a V. So check us out at viocare.com. There's a lot of interesting things that we're getting into that'll come out in the future. We're working with a local organization, Sarnoff Company, on another grant that's going to change the way that we assess people's dietary habits using pictures.
So you're cutting edge.
We're definitely cutting edge. We're way out there doing some really extreme things that I hope will change the way that we deal with prevention.
But a new business model that people are going to be watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and everything. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam.
Yes,
Great
and
being
come
here.
back
Thank you.
anytime.
All right, thank you.
The great Living Well, Princeton Living Well, right in Princeton, a model business model in a focused town like this. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's going to go off and jog now.
So long.
Yep. Well, welcome back to the Mega Marathon. My wife, if she's there, I love you. I forgive you for yelling at me yesterday. Where's Nadia? Nadia's been up for 30 minutes. I'm all day. I got to tell you, I forgot to tell my wife that I was going to come.
Adam!
Take a mic, please. What's
What
happening, baby?
are you doing up?
What's your major?
My major.
No, so what's going on?
I majored in graduating. I'm done with that.
Oh. 8 minutes. Okay.
8 minutes.
What do you have to say for yourself right now?
What do I have to say? Wow, I'm really busy right now with I got asked on Tuesday to present my solo show as a reading in New York at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater because one of the playwrights couldn't make his reading slot. He lost his director, he lost several actors, and he just couldn't get enough replacements in time. So they asked me to do it because I had run the work through the unit, and it's easy. It's like one actor, me, and one director. And
You can learn the script that quickly, though?
no, it's just a reading. Thank
Oh,
God.
you just sit down there. You still have to be dramatic, right? You're
Yeah,
supposed to-
I still have to act, but
Right.
it's...
This is Naomi.
Noemi
I can't pronounce it. What do you go by? What's your acting name?
de la Puente.
De La Puente. I love that. Yeah. She is a treasure in the Princeton community. She's striving. She's an artist,
Oh,
actress, singer.
Thank you.
She's the antennae that brings in creative ideas to our community. McCarter Theater should have her on.
I've submitted some of my stuff to McCarter. They've never been interested.
I hate them then. I do hate them. I hate them. I mean, they become this big regional player and everything.
They are. They won a
small-
Tony Award for regional theater.
Screw 'em. I saw one play there. By the first act, it was a herd leaving. You it's hit or miss. I've seen some really great stuff there, and I've seen some really horrible things. This thing supposedly won some award in Philadelphia. I forget the name. It's Miss Miller's Nanny. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I felt really
That's not
embarrassed.
good.
No, I felt really embarrassed. Like, am I dumb? Am I missing something? And I turned to a person next to me who I didn't know. I go,
Yeah.
"Do you really understand what's going on?" He goes, "I'm glad you said that. I don't either."
No.
Yeah.
Well, you have to combine the abstract with the concrete. I mean, it's fun to be mysterious. mysterious and to be esoteric and all that, but ultimately it is storytelling.
Right, right.
And there has to be a story, and there has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the middle can be murky and all that, but you do have to be kind to your audience and help them along a little bit. I mean, not spoon feed them like they do on television, haha.
Yeah, yeah.
But there has to be they have to know what's going on. Someone at some point in the rehearsal process should have been brought in who did not know the play, should have been sat down in a seat, should have watched
An
it.
objective, a person
And
just
then,
like anybody
and then
on the
the
street.
director and the playwright should have interviewed
focus
that
group,
person.
like a focus group.
Yeah, yeah, and said, okay, what did you get, what did you not get? Without necessarily telling the person what they're supposed to get.
Right, right.
Then the playwright and the director go back and go, okay, they got this, they did not get that. They did not understand that, they missed this. So how do we make that clear? Or is that really necessary to the story?
Oh, maybe I don't care, but then so be
And
it.
then there's a certain amount of mystery that people will tolerate and will enjoy,
Right.
like with the crying game.
Yes, yes, but
Doesn't sound
that again, they were compelling characters too, you
Yeah.
know, and stuff. You have to have some kind of you have some kind of drama has to be whatever drama is has to be thrown in
Yeah.
if you're going to do a play or comedy.
Yeah.
And there's a storyline you want to see how it's going to unfold.
Yeah, and it's okay if there's not, you know, like we argue about this in the playwriting unit a lot about whose story is it? You know, does there have to be a main character? Does there have to be a Hamlet in every show? And we've come to the conclusion, no, sometimes it is just a story about that group of people. Sometimes it is an ensemble
Right.
kind of
You still have to
story.
be able to relate to it, what they're saying,
Yeah.
what they're doing, and everything.
Well, right. It has to be clear.
Right.
You know, you have to be able to keep the characters straight, and you have to know kind of what means something to them and what doesn't.
What do you watch on TV? Do you watch TV?
I
What do you like?
unfortunately I do not watch a lot of TV. What I typically do is I rent the season on Netflix. Like I've rented Curb Your Enthusiasm, Desperate Housewives, Rome.
The HBO.
Yeah, the HBO things because I only have basic cable.
I didn't know that Romans had British accents, though.
Well, they do. Apparently, they do.
So why do you like Desperate Housewives?
I like it because of the tone. I never know if it's going to be hilarious or moving. I also like that they picked middle-aged women to write about, and that's a very underrepresented demographic in
yes.
television. It happens to be the demographic that I belong to.
Right,
And I'm interested in seeing these stories. And the other reason that makes it interesting is they say the unspeakable on that show. They say things like mothers admit they get tired of their kids on that show. And,
Yeah,
and things
good
that
point.
actually happen, but no one would dare say it. And yet we know that on some level that has to be happening. And that's not the entire picture, but it is a little part of the picture.
You're
and,
right.
and I like that.
That is true. I guess some TV, they think it's too much reality. That's right. They do say that, though. And you're right. You don't know if it's going to be quirky and bizarre or actually serious.
And touching or
tou-
moving.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right.
You know, and when some character just has a breakdown and cry. I like that. I like not knowing. I like not having it predictable. I also like that it doesn't have a laugh track.
Right.
I
That's
hate laugh
true.
tracks.
That's true.
I
It doesn't.
hate.
You were so articulate. And
I
insightful.
hate shows. Any show that has a laugh track, I try not to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like all the good cartoons, I will watch Family Guy and The Simpsons and King of the Hill
Well
on
written,
TV.
Very witty, well written.
Well-written, astute, observant cartoons. I even find South Park in that category. Even though it is offensive, it is very well written, very thought out.
They try to be as offensive as possible.
They do, but they're good. They're an equal opportunity offender.
Right. And they're funny how they do it.
And they are linked to current events,
Right,
and I find that they address issues in our society that we need to
Right.
address. And
They did a movie, Air America, with puppets. You should watch it.
Oh, I did see it, Eric.
We need your
Team
acting.
America
Team
World
America.
Police.
We need your acting.
I love that show. I love that movie.
I was cracking
Oh
up.
my God!
You're laughing right now.
Love it.
See it, Team America with puppets. It was really funny.
It really is so funny.
And then when they went to all the Hollywood actors were it was the Kremlin. They were going dusk. You know,
Yeah.
Sean Penn was the head of the Politburo.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to.
Fabulous.
You have to come back, Naomi. You were so articulate. You were
Thank
so
you.
bright.
Thank
And
you.
you're even smarter than me, and I don't like that. But we
I'm
have to.
sorry.
And we're going to wrap it up right now. What's the next band? Do you want to?
I don't know the next band, but I know a couple people in it.
Will you come
I
back and
heard
talk-
them warming up. They sound really bluesy, really rhythmic, really snazzy.
So you come back and talk with us?
All right, yeah.
Peace. Out.